The year is 1492 DR, and Elturel, the capital city of Eltergard, has suddenly and inexplicably disappeared into thin air. While most who lived in the city disappeared with it, those who were on the outskirts survived, and now seek haven along the Sword Coast. As such, large numbers of refugees have been making their way west to Baldur's Gate in the hopes of making a new life there. But now its leaders claim the city is in danger of becoming overburdened, and the guards have begun turning people back from the wall. The road to Baldur's Gate has not been without hardship, and in several cases, minor heroes have been born along the way, forced as they were to survive and to help others do the same. Wherever it was that you came from originally, you signed on to protect one of these caravans. You approach the walls of Baldur's Gate with a short line of wagons behind you and nearly 30 people who look to you to keep them safe, and you feel as though your task is nearly complete, or at least you hope it is. So you've all been traveling together for some time along the Great Tradeway towards Baldur's Gate. Maybe some of you met in Elturel originally, or perhaps some of you have been kind of picked up along the way and brought into the caravan. Either way, you would have had some time to sort of get to know each other a little bit. So let's do a round of character introductions just so we're all familiar with each other. We'll just go in character order. If you just want to say a little bit about like what you look like, what you might be thinking as you're leading this caravan towards Baldur's Gate, and why you might be in the area. Whatever you like. We'll start with, is it Iki?
Yes, Ikathorn Zeus III. Came from, learned everything I could in Mashkala. I was trained to be an Inquisitor, going over to fight evil monsters. And then went to saw some stuff that I wish I didn't see. And now I'm just kind of out of that on my own, trying to figure out what to do next, really.
All right. And Nimbus the Bimbus. Nimbus is making tea. We can come back to Nimbus. Winter.
Hello. My name is Winter, and Winter looks about 4'4", and very noticeably the very pure snow white wings that protrude from his arms, and he's just thinking that he wants to get everything right and as good as it can be. That's about it.
Okay. Wait. Yamshu. You definitely
Yamshu
started the journey in Eltergard.
Yeah. Yamshu is a tall half-orc, very orc-looking half-orc man with nice, well-kept burnished chainmail and a decently clean, unripped-up tabard for someone who travels all the time. I am Yamshu, the warrior who wanders. It was nice to be of service to these people, but I am eager to be rid of them.
Sounds like a bit of a contradiction there.
It was, it felt good, but also we've been traveling with them, and some of them are children, and they'll just take things and throw rocks, and it's a lot. There's a lot of people. I don't like it at all.
Fair enough. I can relate to that kind of. Nazi.
It's the Nazi.
Might be on mute, Ginzu.
I apologize. You made me self-conscious about my name, so I had to adjust it a little bit.
Yeah, you changed it from a Z to a...
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sorry.
It's like, that whole time I was just like, oh, God. Okay. So anyways, he's a bigot. No, I'm just kidding. So you notice this mysterious humanoid-looking creature who's in robes some dark robes, good tan skin, darker hair. Looks to seem to be a little younger. He's been traveling around with you guys, and you do notice all of a sudden he was wearing leather armor. Now he's like dressed in scale. You noticed him talking a lot with the smithy that you've been traveling with. And he's now carrying around a shield, but from what you know with him, he seems to like to shoot arcane magic from his hands. And he does not open very much about kind of where he's from, but you do know he's traveling on to Boulder's Gate to further his knowledge of the arcane. You do notice he fiddles around with his little ring on his hand and does kind of talk to himself occasionally.
What does he say when he talks to himself?
Well, it sounds like it's almost he's talking to somebody else, but you're not sure. Maybe almost like prayers, but not prayers. Almost strange.
Okay. Nimbus, are you back from making tea?
Yes, I am back now.
You have a tiny little bird picture.
Huh?
A tiny little bird picture.
Yeah, tiny little bird picture. So, Nimbus, he's this is what his feathering looks like. He's an Aarakocra, clearly.
Nice.
Average height, average build for an Aarakocra. He's about like 96 pounds. If you look in the Discord, I actually posted a picture of what kind of clothing he wears. If it goes through, hold on. Almost there.
Where did you post that?
There it is.
You're posting it.
Yeah. So this is the clothing that he wears.
Oh, that's what he's wearing? Nice.
Yeah, that's what he's wearing currently.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting fashions for here near Boulder's Gate.
Yeah. It's very Aarakocra-y. He was gifted these clothes from an unknown man. Travels everywhere. Yeah, he's got a longbow on his strap to his backpack and arrows, all that shit. And he looks very excited to be here, but also very, very scared. And just kind of fiddles with his fingers while looking at everyone. That's about it.
What makes him scared? Or he's just scared like a bird?
Everything making him, because he came out here obviously on volunteer work, but he's still scared.
Cool. He might have to rise to the challenge of being the highest level character in the party. Hopefully he's not too scared about that.
We'll see.
So the grand city of Baldur's Gate is a wealthy port on the Sword Coast of Faerun. The famous port was named after the seafaring adventurer Baldur, who it lies on the great tradeway that winds south from Waterdeep. And you're walking through the outer city, which is the city beyond the walls. It's got dark alleyways teeming with malevolence. And it's driving the refugees to huddle together near their carts and look to you for reassurance as you're passing through. And you can hear the sounds of pack animals whimpering and the shouting of guards and lots of conversations in different languages, all forming this incessant loud hum of civilization moving at a brisk pace. And you kind of pass through this area, approaching the outer wall, towards what you know to be the Basilisk Gate, which is the gate to the east. And as you're approaching, you see these guards standing outside the gate, kind of not so much having an argument, but just kind of like giving some stern words to some like a couple who are standing there trying to sort of negotiate with them. And you see that they have a cart with them as well, and it looks like they may also be refugees, perhaps from Elturel as well. You're not sure. And you kind of see after this interaction, the guards sort of like wave this couple away, and they kind of turn around and sort of like take their donkey and sort of move the cart away, and they've been turned away, and they kind of like slink away. What do you do at this point?
I approach the gate.
Yes.
So you walk up to the gate, and these a bunch of guards kind of standing around, and they're sort of like, you know, talking to each other, and a couple of them kind of joking around, and they sort of see you coming. They notice you're pretty heavily armored and carrying what are you dressed in, like vestments and?
Yeah, I've got a little tabard that openly has a symbol of Groomsh on it. And I've got some weapons. I'm a little stocked up because we're traveling with a weapon cart. But I'm not like holding weapons, you know, just like at the belt, javelins on the back kind of a situation.
Yeah, they might be
Shield off.
They might be a little bit unsettled about the Grumsh symbol, but they kind of like raise an eyebrow and kind of say like, "Oh, who goes there?"
Hail, I am Yamshu, Daroka. I mean you no harm. I have assisted these other travelers with escorting this caravan.
Right, what do you plan to do with them?
Their village was destroyed. There was an explosion of enormous magnitude, arcane in nature, I believe. It was pretty weird. They need somewhere safe to live.
Yeah, we've been hearing about it all week, actually, this disappearance of El Tyrell. Look, we've got standing orders, actually, not to let in large groups without special permission. He kind of like looks at this like caravan of several wagons behind you and all of these people and adventurers and stuff. He's like, "Well, I'm sorry, but we can't let you in."
Who supplies the grain for your bread? Who supplies the trade goods for your markets? If you cannot back your fiefdoms, what use are you?
He kind of like looks to his mate, and he's like kind of confused. His mate's sort of like also a bit confused. They kind of shrug. He's like, "Look, I'm not really sure what you mean by grains and all that. I'm just a lowly guard. I've just been told by those above not to let anyone in without special permission, like I've said. Look, if you want to
apologize,
you're free to contest this matter if you'd like. We've been told to refer people up to see the Flaming Fist leadership if you want to plead your case, but unfortunately, other than that, there's not really much we can do."
That would be excellent. I will gather the others. An audience would be wonderful.
Well, all right. Well, if you want to see Flame Darren Falburn, she's just up those stairs there. He kind of like points to the side of the gate. There's like a side like door sort of underneath the wall with some like stairs. You can see some stairs like kind of leading up into the wall. And his mate kind of elbows him, says, "Oh, I think she prefers Darren Falburn." And the guy says, "Oh, sorry, mate. It's my first day."
Thank you.
When you should probably only permit a couple of you to go up there, and we'll send probably an escort with you, so you don't run off or anything. So let us know when you're ready.
Okay. And I go back to the group.
Well, okay, who wants to go up?
I believe I could reason with them, though I was unable to reason to the guard, and I have failed at reasoning before. So, if someone is better, I would understand.
I'm not much for talking.
Well, my trade is more on the deceptive side. I could always try.
I could give it a go.
Is this Nimbus?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be honest. I think me going in there, you know, being a half-orc who openly worships Groomsh, some people are a little weird about it.
Yes, that might be strange.
Very well. And I just nod at you guys.
Christian.
I love how like, we don't have a single charisma guy here.
That's me, though. That's me.
I am probably the best because I'm a warlock, but we can go. Anybody want to go up there with me?
He did ask, and I restricted to only a couple, so perhaps the two of you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we all go up there and the old saying, ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Well, I would not apply that to matters of the law, in front of the law.
Hey,
If today we must die in honor, I will accept it. But you too must be ready.
You're just going up to speak to an official here.
I thought we were just talking.
Okay.
All right, well, you get a few of you together, and some of the refugees agree to stay and watch the caravan. It's not difficult to kind of like find a place to leave the caravan in the outer city, though it's like it is pretty dangerous and unsavory. But there's enough of them to kind of stand watch while you like head up these stairs, and you go up 2 flights of stairs. You've been told to go up 2, and well, actually, you're escorted by one of these guards. And they lead you up to the 2nd story, and they kind of walk down this hallway, and you follow them down this hall, and you know this sort of servant of some kind of like has to squeeze past you with all these books or something, and you walk down to the end of the corridor, and the guard knocks on the door, and you hear this "Come in." And the guard opens the door and kind of like beckons that you enter this room. And it's like a 30 feet square room, brightly lit by afternoon sunlight, which is filtering through the open windows. And you can hear the typical noise and commotion of urban life kind of filtering in through the windows from the outer city. And you see this woman in here who you assume is Flame Dayron Falburn. She's dressed in probably like half plate, and she's staring at a document covered desk, and she's got a worry streaked face, and her voice has a tinge of pragmatic cynicism to it as she kind of speaks to you without actually looking up for a moment. She says, "Welcome to Boulder's Gate. Is it everything you've hoped for?"
No.
I want to look around to see if there's anything I can use as far as to basically deceive her. Because here's what I'm trying to do. So I want to try to see if we can play off like we're here to deliver. We were sent out and here to deliver information. At least I was, and she should let us in. Deliver information.
So you want to kind of
whatever, yeah, kind of lie, but I want to see if there's anything in there that I can notice that might help me towards that, like any papers or anything or names or anything I see.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh, sorry, I did it in the wrong thing. That's too bad. I rolled a 20 and beyond. No, it's not going to work.
We can go with a 20. I believe you.
It's fine. Let's see what I end up rolling. Oh, we'll take the 20.
I think you did a private roll, so we're going to have to do it again. No, it's but we'll go with the 20. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll say that you don't
forgot
really
to change it back.
You notice like there's all kinds of documents and books around the room, bookcases full of like files and filing cabinets and things. You see there's like, you know, like a sort of a corkboard type of situation with like you know, various like sketches of what looks to be criminals and things, and you think briefly that you can gather that there have been some maybe like a couple of murders recently, and there's all kinds of chaos going on in the city. And you also notice this like a list, like a large list on her desk that's kind of on the corner closest to where you're standing, which looks like a sort of a checklist. and you can read the word. You notice the word like refugee on this list, so you think it has something to do with refugees.
Okay. Okay. Refugee.
What can I do for you? She kind of like looks up now, sort of like puts like a quill down that was in her right hand.
Yes. We're trying to procure passage in the city. I have important information to relay back about some things that are happening that I have observed and need to, without going into too much detail, relay back to some higher-ups. A lot to do with some refugees and some other criminal activity that's been going on that may be affecting inside the city and outside the walls.
We are, of course, interested to know anything about criminal activity in Baldur's Gate. If you would like to provide this information to me, I can pass it up to the Blaze. But unfortunately, we've been told not to let anyone in otherwise. At least larger groups of refugees, in particular. And I've been given a warning that you come with a large number of refugees. Is that true?
We do. If there's a way we can encamp them outside safely in the watch of the gods while we enter the city and relay the information and provide the support that is needed.
I don't mind if perhaps one or two of you wish to go into the city, but yes, look, honestly, like I have sympathy for these refugees, but also large numbers of refugees just sitting around in the outer city is also potentially problematic. Look, I can. She kind of like reaches out for this list that you noticed on the desk.
Yeah.
She says, "Look, this is a list of things that would disqualify refugees from being admitted." She says,
Okay.
"It's. I'm not going to lie. A lot of these things these requirements are pretty difficult to meet. I think the higher ups wrote it that way intentionally. But if you are able to account for each of these points, then you may come back and see me again tomorrow morning, and I'll reconsider letting in these refugees that come with you. As for yourself, if you wish to enter the city, I'll allow you and one other to enter the city, especially if you wish to try to make some of these arrangements. You may need to go in there."
Oh, perfect. May I have that list?
Yeah, so she hands you this list, and let me see, maybe I'll just copy and paste it actually and give it to you. Bear with me. I accidentally copied the image of Nimbus the Bimbus's weird dress with bow tie and all. Okay.
Good job.
There's nothing weird about his dress. What are you talking about?
It's
Very professional.
it's just a bit weird for a large, colorful bird to be wearing it, I guess. But you're right. It's lovely. It's a lovely getup. Lovely bag of fruit.
It's a lovely outfit.
Okay. This doesn't seem to be coming across well. So I'll just read. We got carts. Sorry, bear with me. I should have done this beforehand. Okay. So you read this list. Yeah, you've got a full accounting of each refugee with their name, occupation, age, and criminal record. Carts and pack animals aren't permitted within the city, so everyone has to enter on foot. Confirmation from a cleric or lay healer that resides within Baldur's Gate, confirming that each refugee is free of any disease. Arrangements have to be made with inns, temples, or relatives that are willing to house the refugees. They can't sleep on the streets. And the refugees have to have some arrangement to do work for the benefit of the city.
Okay.
So yeah, she's willing to allow you and one other to enter the city to, if you wish to attempt to find ways to meet some of these demands. But otherwise, she says, yeah, to come back tomorrow morning, basically.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of us to 6. I don't know if she's gonna buy it. So.
But if you do wish to provide me with some of that information, I would certainly be very interested to hear it. But otherwise, you know, I've been told to liaise with anyone who is trying to access the city, and I can't really just send everyone up the chain who's claiming to have some information. Otherwise, nobody would be able to get any work done.
Okay. I'll give you what I can, and then I talk to her about kind of what we ran into the previous one in the city, that other town that is gone, and some bands of criminals who are stealing from the leftover town people that are there.
Yeah, so just for everyone that wasn't in that game, Elturel disappeared, and then you rescued a bunch of people from the city and took them away in his caravan. And along the journey to Boulder's Gate, there was a woman named Lawless who seemed to be some sort of cult member who attacked and murdered one of the other refugees, and the characters ended up slaying her at the end of that adventure.
Yeah.
So I guess you're telling
I told her everything except for the name and kind of exact specifics of that. So
she says, yes, that there has been a strange increase in reports of cult-like activities in the city. She kind of like notes down some information about this and says, I appreciate the information. I will certainly pass this on.
okay. Well, let's go back to the caravan, I guess.
All right, so you head back down the stairs, back to this caravan, and as you're coming back down these steps, you kind of like begin moving through this crowd again, back towards the caravan. Did everyone go up to see Adrian, or did some of you remain at the caravan?
It was only 3 of us. It was only 3 of us.
Okay. So the 3 of you come back down, and you're walking back towards the caravan, and you're within sight of the caravan. You're sort of kind of pushing through this crowd, and at one point, Zanazi, you notice like the glint of a blade amongst the people in the crowd, and you kind of turn to look, and you see this strange-looking character dressed in a dark cloak with a hood over his head. He's got like a necklace around his neck that looks like it has like, you know, small skulls of birds and small animals on it, and other skull-like paraphernalia. And he's like pulling this sword out, and just as you notice that, you hear like a couple of people shout from behind you, and you all 3 of you turn around to see that there's other characters dressed in a similar way who are approaching you. And this is like near enough to the wagon that the others see this, can kind of see you sort of reacting to something as well. So I'll move us over to this map here as these guys approach you. Okay. So who was coming back from the office? It was Zanazi
and me.
Okay. Yeah, you two for sure. I opted to stay because I didn't want them to like interact with me in a negative way.
And
I don't know if the third person.
So who?
Yeah, I would have stayed. I would have stayed with the wagon.
All right, we'll say that it's like
okay, that's fine. It's just us 2, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say that the setup is like something like this. If you want to kind of like move yourselves, just if you want to swap positions or something, but
Yeah, that's fine.
and like as these people like draw swords and begin to approach you and begin shouting, like a lot of the civilians who are in the area flee as well. Just for anyone who doesn't know how to roll initiative, if you go to the top right-hand corner of the screen, there's like a fist icon. If you just right-click on that icon, it'll pop out the combat tracker, and then you can just find your name in the list and click on the die icon to the right of your name. You can also just click on the fist icon, and it should give you like a split view, so you can see the chat log as well as the combat tracker.
What a shame.
Oh, -1. That's awesome.
Plus -1.
All right. So this is the guy that was like drawing his sword, and he draws his scimitar and he advances. Just comes straight at you. You can just see this like bright-colored bird in this very fashionable outfit with a bow tie, and it just draws his eyes, and he can't help but choose you as the first target. But he's so distracted by your fashionable dress that he misses you completely. Zanazi.
He's admiring your fashion. I'm going to hex this one as a bonus action.
Okay.
And then I'm going to let him have an opportunity attack on me.
All right.
So go ahead.
Ooh, looks like it hits
Yep, just barely.
for 6 slashing.
And then I am going to attack him. Let me do this correctly. Eldritch Blast. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do my X after I move, and then spells. Eldritch Blast attack.
That definitely hits.
Damage. +2, +1, 6. And I am shoving him 10 feet away. Oh, he died. Never mind. Well, he flew 10 feet away while he died.
Blasted in the face by this eldritch blast, and he just goes head first backwards across the ground as his body slowly
What did
burns
I do?
away on the other side of the street. Anything else?
There's nobody else over here, is there?
No, just a bunch of people running around panicking.
Yeah. I was just seeing how far that was, so.
All right, Yamshu.
I'll stay right there, go ahead.
I will run over 30 feet. Yeah, 30 feet. Oh, not that. And throw a javelin at the one closest to me.
Okay. Nice, that's a hit. So this guy's like runs at Nimbus and like tries to like hack at him and misses, and Zanazi like ducks away and moves up the street and like fires at one of his allies and kills him. And as this guy is like standing there with his mouth open, you like come and just like throw this javelin at him. It just goes like straight through his shoulder and like pops out the front of him. Nimbus just sees like the end of this spear just and he's looking pretty bloody now. Anything else?
I howl gleefully.
All right. Icky.
So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, so Icky is like this super tall, like onyx black skin, no hair, but a big fiery red beard. You just see his whole head like catch on fire. He sucks in and he spits out a little fireball at him, and we use produce flame to throw like a little ranged spell attack at him.
Okay. So just hit the attack button in the chat log where it produced that little
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
text box. That's all right. Sorry, I didn't explain anything.
You're all good.
That misses.
Nice.
Just barely, right?
No.
So this flame just like he's basically like keeling over because there's this javelin like sticking out of his back, and so you just miss as he keels over, and this flame just straight over his head and just like hits the window of this house just behind Zanazi.
What the hell?
All right, Nimbus.
So, quick question. We're outside, right?
Yes.
This is a roof, right?
Yes.
How high is that roof?
10, 12 feet.
Can I fly up there?
Yep.
Alright, so after that, for movement action, I'm gonna attack this dude with my bow.
As you jump away, though, this guy... Oh, no, he's already used his reaction. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, go for
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you. Alright, longbow, let's go.
Just jump on the
That one.
Nice.
Go!
baby.
Oh, man. That's a critical hit.
That just goes
damn.
straight between the eyes. Just... He just falls over backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, Winter.
I don't know if I can do anything. But I'm going to do what I can and move about. Since I can fly, I guess I'll fly about right there.
Sweet.
I can't really do much, but that's fine.
What are you, Winter? Just curious.
You can fire a short bow if
Oh, I can actually.
Winter
I'll do that. Yeah.
Alan, which I've never
Yeah, I'm
played with
Alan.
before. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I meant class.
Oh,
Oh, I am a rogue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then I will do the short bow. What is the...
so double click on your token to open your sheet, and then select the second tab along the inventory tab. Hover over the word short bow, and then click the die icon that appears to the left of it,
Oh, okay.
and that'll produce a text box in the chat log, and then you can click the attack button. You won't be able to use the one I just... Oh no, that might be yours. Yeah, so hit the attack button and that'll roll the attack.
Oh, it's doing the... Hold on. The bonus a bit weird. There we go.
Sweet. That's a hit.
18. Okay.
So now
And-
hit the damage button and it'll roll the damage.
Okay.
Let me know if anything on your sheet doesn't work as well. Anyone who was imported from Roll20, it's a bit buggy.
Yeah.
I think I need sharpshooter added just to piss you off.
And that's 8 damage. Yeah, just would fly up and then just aim down. Probably at like the legs.
Nice. You just like glide along the ground and like lift up into the air and fire this arrow, and it just goes like straight through his knee and just shakes him down. He's already going down because of the javelin, and that was enough to just pretty much bleed him out.
To death.
And yeah, as this is all happening, you've been hearing like kind of shouts from like somebody that seems to be up on one of these rooftops. Nimbus, not the one that you're on, but you see another you see another cloaked figure who seems to be hiding on the rooftop across from you. And as you kind of kill the last of these cultists, he like jumps off the roof and like runs down this alleyway here.
Can
you
I blast
follow
him?
You like try to blast him, but you miss as he manages to get away like through the crowd.
Come back!
All right, so you can run after him if you wish.
Yeah, let's run after him.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly after him because I'm fast
Yeah.
as fuck.
I'm actually gonna dash.
We'll do the.
All right, so you run after this guy, and I'll put us actually into initiative again in here, and we'll do this.
The same initiative, or are we rerolling?
I think I killed it, so we'll just re-roll.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't.
Hey, I'm not gonna complain.
I am. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, let me grab that. Let's
I've got
see.
consistently good initiatives on this character.
No, my guy!
Oh,
Oh, see? Look at that. Told you. Yeah,
I mean, you're in the midst of this combat, and all of a sudden you see this guy jump off the roof and run down the alleyway. So you have to react as quickly as you can, and
poorly.
you react a little bit slower than you would like, but you follow the group down this alleyway with Icky and Winter close behind. Winter, if you just want to roll your initiative again. Just by clicking the die icon to the right of your name in the combat
This
tracker.
song sounds familiar. Did you grab this from The Witcher?
No. This is made by what's it called? Tabletop Audio.
Hmm?
All the music actually that I use is from Tabletop Audio, which is just some guy called Tim.
Damn,
Has a website.
Tim must like The Witcher.
Okay, so you run after this guy into the crowd, and I'm gonna try to use these chase rules.
I rolled my initiative, but apparently it didn't add it.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I roll it for you? It doesn't. Or what did you? What did you
got a
get?
13.
13.
Oh, you got a nat.
We'll go with your 13.
That's cool.
Wish I would have kept my mouth shut.
Yep.
All right, so you watch as you're kind of like running through this crowd, as this guy sort of like ducks and weaves past these civilians and kind of like ducks around a corner. He's gonna make a dash around the corner, and yeah.
He's not gonna get away.
Just trying to. Yeah, okay. And so the way this will work is at the end of your turn, we'll roll a d20, and we'll see if he can kind of do anything to like mess you up as he's running through the street. Where are we? 19. Nope, seems good. Okay. Alright, Yamchu. So you're like running after this guy through the street, and there's all these people around. What do you do?
Okay, I would dash. I would continue using my action to chase him, but I would make a point to grab one of my light hammers off my belt and just be holding it in my right hand as I run.
Okay. So you take a dash action. So everyone only has a number of dash actions which equals 3 plus your con modifier. And give me a d20 roll. See if anything happens.
That was almost it.
All right. So as you're running through the crowd, you see this beggar kind of like emerge from the crowd and actually blocks Winter's way. So Winter, give me a.
I can fly.
Give me a. Oh, okay, give me an intimidation check. See if you can.
Intimidation? Okay.
Yeah, to see if you can
I'm
slip
not good
past
at
the
that.
beggar.
Never mind, I'm pretty good at that.
That's all right. You're like charging through this crowd. This like fairly unusual owlin creature, and this beggar, as he's kind of like walking out in front of you, like sees you like running towards him, and is like ooh, and kind of like gets out of the way quickly, and so you manage to run past him without kind of running into him. And what do you do on your turn?
I would actually, after that, he would just tell everybody, just I'm going to go up. I'm going to see if I can get an eye in the sky. And
Okay.
then head up, dash up.
What's your flying movement? Your fly speed?
My flying is just equal to my regular movement, so
Okay.
30.
Sweet. All right, so you're gonna move like 60 feet into the air and see if you can like see where this guy's going. All right. Give me a roll 20 roll. A d20 roll.
20. Just flat d20.
Yeah, just a flat d20.
Okay. 3. Perfect.
All right, so Nimbus, you as you're running through here, you swerve and
Oh, I said I was flying through.
oh, you're flying through. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
and I have
flying
50 feet of fly speed.
Cheaters.
right, and you're also like flying like how high are you?
High enough to keep my eyes on him.
So like how high would that be?
Like, I don't know, like 15, 20 feet at max.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, nothing happens to you. You can like fly through here, unhindered by the crowd and any other obstacles. What do you want to do? Yep. Everyone has 3 dashes basically, and you can cast a spell or something.
So, how far is he away from me after this 50 feet of movement?
Wait. Okay. So you're moving 50 feet forward, and you're in the air. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, trying to catch up to him, yeah. So I was already on the roof, you know?
So you kind of see him like where you think he is, like running through the crowd. You'd say he's probably about like 20 feet from you.
Okay.
But
So, I would have to dash to catch up to him, right?
yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then action surge,
Okay.
and then try and grapple him after that.
All right. Sweet. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're gonna grapple him at the end of that dash. Sorry, this is the first time I've actually done like a chase. It's kind of a weird set of rules to do with chase. I guess if you're gonna grapple him, yeah, just give me a strength check.
All right. Oh, fuck, that's the wrong place to be rolling. Hold on.
Give me athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah, and he's gonna try to like worm out of your grasp. So you just gotta beat
Gonna wait for
11.
that die to move. All right. Shoosh.
Oh, I almost hit 18.
Nice. You kind of like swoop at him and like try to like wrap your arms around him, but he just like jumps out of the way and just gets ahead of you and keeps like dashing through the crowd, and you miss him.
All right. So with that final feat of movement, I'll make it back up into the air where I was and keep trying to chase after him.
Okay, cool. Give me a d20.
D20?
Yeah.
Alright. Blink.
16. Okay, sweet. Alright, Zanazzi.
If I go 30 feet, is he close enough to maybe me hit him with an Eldritch Blast or no?
So you're no, we're yeah, you could launch an Eldritch Blast into the crowd. There's like a lot of people around though. But yeah, you can try. I'll say you'll have some cover and there's some risk of like hitting people.
Okay. Alright. And then I'll bonus action hex him before I do that. And so let's go ahead and do that.
I'll say you can, yeah, you can, I guess you can get a hex off on him. Okay, 19 hits.
Okay.
Just this
let's do
eldritch ball of crackling energy just like flies straight past this like civilian's head, like whoa! Just like hits this guy in the back.
6.
Shit, 20.
And he's getting slammed 10 feet into a wall. Oh, never mind, he died.
Yeah, he just goes up in flames and like falls to the ground dead, and all of these like people standing around just kind of like stop and like look down at this guy that's just been killed in front of them, and they're just like just terrified, and they all kind of like look at you, and like several of them like back away, and they're all just standing there very perplexed and afraid. And
I'm gonna slyly walk up to him, little kind of a grin on my face, and kind of search his body for any evidence of who sent him or anything.
okay, you search his body and you find you don't find much on him. Maybe you find like 20 gold pieces, and otherwise his pockets are empty, but he is wearing this like necklace that has like a symbol that you recognize. You feel like you've seen it before. I think I'm trying to remember if you saw this exact symbol in Elturel. Maybe give me a religion check to identify this symbol.
Sure. No.
You kind of scratch your head and you're like, this symbol seems really familiar to me, but I can't quite identify it. And at this point, the rest of you catch up, and you see that Zanasi has taken out this cultist that you were chasing. You can all, like, anyone who's proficient in religion can try to identify this symbol.
Yeah, because I was going to grab the necklace and hold it up. Does anybody recognize this symbol? If not, we'll take it back to Darren.
Let me take a look. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Sure.
Oh, I'll take a look at that.
Not hand it over.
Yeah. Pick it up, start looking at it.
Yeah, you immediately recognize this as a symbol of the Cult of Zariel.
Do I know what the Cult of Zariel is?
You know, Zariel is a devil. A devil of, like, I think the first of the hells. And she's like you know that it's a she, and she's like some kind of like lord, but you don't know much else about it. It's one of many cults that you've heard of.
Gotcha. I'll relay that to the party.
We should use this for evidence.
Yeah, so the people in the party who were at Elturel would recognize Zariel as being the same cultist that was worshipped by Volus.
Okay. I'll keep the necklace with me so we can use it. But anything else we find?
You don't find anything other than that.
You guys think we should go back and search the others?
It seems like a good idea.
Doesn't hurt.
A couple of us stay here, a couple of you go search the others just in case. I try to wave down. Is there any guards around here that I can wave down?
Yeah, if you wait long enough, you can like see like a couple of guards walking by. Like, what can we do for you? They kind
I
of
just
like,
want to tell them what happened, so we're not like being accused of anything.
yeah, they kind of like look down. They notice like everyone sort of like backing away from you. Some people have already kind of started just returning to their daily lives. Like Boulder's Gate, especially the outer city, is like a pretty crazy place sometimes. These guards kind of like look at you suspiciously, like, what happened here?
These cultists came out of nowhere and attacked us. We took care of them so they couldn't hurt anybody else. They had this necklace on them that this was a symbol of the devil of Zariel.
He says, he kind of like looks at this necklace, sort of scratches his head again. It's like, there has been a strange increase in talk of cults and rumors of cultist activity in these parts in recent times. You say you were attacked. Maybe give me a perception check. A persuasion check.
Okay. Well, he's pretty persuaded.
Yeah, he's like, well, in that case, we are glad that you were able to take care of these evil thugs so effortlessly. And we appreciate the help. We will send somebody to collect this body as soon as possible. He kind of begins like kind of telling like his friend to like wait while he like goes and fetches some people to kind of like deal with this crime scene.
Thanks. I suggest they do it quickly. And keep an eye out for others that might be trying to cause trouble.
Of course. That is our job as guards, after all.
Then you think we wouldn't have been attacked, but okay.
It's a dangerous place in the outer city. We definitely suggest that you watch your purses whilst around the gate, and you never know what might be slithering about around here.
Well, we're hoping it's a little safer now.
And hopefully with you around, it will be a little safer. We appreciate it.
Sure.
And he heads off to go and find some superior to deal with the situation.
I guess we need to... What do you guys want to do? Go back to the caravan now?
I do not feel as though they appreciate it.
What do you expect from town guard?
Are we
They're mostly useless.
Are we still checking those other bodies?
I'm not very concerned with that, but I won't stop you from looting the dead.
I doubt there's anything on them, but Adrian, is there anything?
No, you don't find anything else. You just you find actually you don't find any more of those symbols either. All in all, I'll say there's a bunch of gold on them as well, and all in all, everyone ends up with about 20 gold pieces.
Woo!
They got a whole lot of gold on them for some reason.
This is the most gold I've seen in my whole life.
They're very wealthy.
We're on their way to
cultists.
join the cult.
No, they brought the offering page, and we're carrying it with them.
Maybe they should have stashed it somewhere before they thought to take on a bunch of adventurers.
Too late. The gold is mine. All right.
You said 20 gold each for us?
Yeah, why not?
It's cool.
They were packing. That's a lot of damn gold, really. Just be carrying around. But
They're on their way to like drop off all their worldly possessions. Like,
Getting rid of your
they thought
savings
they were
is
going to dispose
expensive.
of us quickly, and then they were going to the whorehouse and gambling and getting some action.
Perhaps they were paid to dispose of you.
Maybe that too. But okay. So I guess we need to do something with this list. How do you guys want to approach that?
are we seriously going to find gainful employment for each of these people?
Well, what do you feel your obligation is to them?
At first, I thought it was simply to shepherd them through the tides of blood and, ensure their survival. But that question feels complicated now. I'm sure that if I didn't help, they would probably, some of them, die.
Well, maybe this is something we can possibly profit from. Maybe we should deliver this information to the refugees and see how they want to approach it.
Sure, but I can't bash poverty's skull in.
How do we know none of them know somebody in Boulder's Gate? That could be.
We can try.
So let's try.
They may also know someone named Poverty.
That is not the point.
Don't confuse him.
But as you're having this discussion, you're kind of returning to the caravan, and you see some of the refugees actually pooling their money together, and they suggest that maybe they could attempt to pay their way past the flame at the morning meeting.
That is not a bad idea.
You really think bribing the... What's her name? Darren? Whatever it is really going to work?
I don't think you got enough money for that.
Well, how much?
No, but I think if they demonstrate value, then they distinguish themselves from the rabble.
Hey, but if we find a right player, we could bribe him. Maybe a little bribes along the way.
Perhaps a series of small bribes.
Just the guards at the gate.
The guards are not important. They are not decision makers. They have said as much.
No, but they can open the gate.
Well, that would be a short-lived success.
Anybody forge some documentation that says they're allowed in?
I could give it a go.
Perhaps.
Any other ideas, fellow travelers?
I say the first thing to do is get a full account of each refugee with their name, occupation, age, and criminal record. I feel like that's going to open up what's going to go next. You know what I mean?
I say we just deliver the list and see where we can go from there.
Fair enough.
Okay. So let's take this list to... There is a small group of them who are acting as like the leaders of the caravan. Let's take that to them.
Yeah, there's Vasha Hall, who, if you remember, she's kind of become the de facto leader of the caravan of refugees. She's married to the man Segrin, who's actually still in a coma from being knocked in the head by some horses in a barn. She's their de facto leader.
Okay. So we'll give that list to Basham.
And she kind of like reads this list and just says like, "This seems like a terribly difficult list of things to achieve. Surely if we could just get enough money together, perhaps they'd be willing to let us in. I don't see how we can achieve all of these things. How are we all going to arrange to have some work in the city, for example? All of us would have to find jobs overnight."
Well, does anybody in the caravan know anybody in Baldur's Gate?
She kind of like turns back to some of the members of the caravan who are kind of nearby, and they sort of look at each other awkwardly and shake their heads.
Well, then I guess you guys are screwed.
I have thought of a solution, but I do not believe they would be ready.
What's your solution?
So we start with step 1. We gather their names, occupation, age, and criminal record. For those who have a criminal record, if they have murdered someone or worse, we execute them. If they have done petty crimes, they're simply sent on their way. Everyone who practiced a trade before will have job interviews that we will line up. Everyone who did not practice a trade, we just let them go on their way. The children we distribute amongst those who can secure living in the city. Some of them will survive this way, perhaps the most.
That's very fucked.
Seems like a lofty task.
There could be better solutions.
I am sure there are, but that is one way of solving this quickly. I do not imagine there are many.
Well, a couple of us are allowed in the city. Do we try to see if there's someone inside the city that could help us with this problem? I don't know if we would have a lead to go do that,
Do
but
they have a church? The church is always accepting new hands.
I'm sure they do.
I don't interact much with the religious types in these parts.
I used to be an inquisitor. I could sure find somebody. I can find a cleric or something, but I might have some pull there.
That could work.
Could we appeal to a noble?
No. Do we look nobly to you? Noble?
No,
like anyone who's not nobles.
I meant like,
You're rich.
perhaps we could offer work.
But at this point, Vasha kind of hears you sort of talking about a variety of solutions. She says, we've managed to collect enough gold that we feel like we might have a fighting chance of perhaps paying them to let us in. If we could wait until the morning, we could speak to their leader and see if they'd be willing to accept payment. It seems like there's just no other way to complete all of the requirements on this list.
Well, we can
Even
do
if they
what
let
ask.
you in, they could find you on the streets, arrest you, or just kill you.
Well, that's a terrible thought. Hopefully, they would grant us an official allowance to enter the city.
How much gold did you got?
She kind of like sort of looks back at some of the other refugees, and they kind of like, one of them like whispers in her ear. She's like, "Oh, we've managed to get nearly 20 gold pieces together."
Oh my god.
Only 20?
It's actually quite a bit.
Well, if you're paying off the people who get paid a bucket load of money, that 20 isn't going to be anything for them.
That's all we've got. We managed to get that's more gold than most of us have ever seen. But you know, there's like nearly 30 of us, and that's everything that we have.
20 gold's a lot.
Perhaps
We
if-
literally found 5 times that on the streets today in Doug's pocket.
That wasn't unusual. 20 gold, especially the gods,
it's very unusual.
is going to be a fortune. Let's do this. We will talk in the morning with them and see if we can buy you passage. If not, you may be stranded here outside the gates.
You've all already done so much for us. It's the least. It's we really appreciate it.
You could do more.
What more are you asking of them?
It is the least.
Okay.
They kind of like go back to their caravan and begin sort of like trying to think of maybe a place where they can kind of stay for the night. They sort of discuss maybe going back out to the edges of the city and kind of like setting up camp on the outskirts of the outer city. And they ask you if you think this is a good idea.
This is not
Yes,
a
if
good
they
idea.
can. I believe they're fine as long as they can set up a proper watch. So,
Well, I've been criticized for my watches in the past, and I've tried to learn from it.
I think you'll be okay as long as you can do that. We will come check back on you.
Right. Thank you so much for all that you've done for us. She goes back and they kind of start getting all of their stuff together and start kind of moving the caravan back out to camp for the night on the outskirts of the city. And do you want to have a long rest as well? It's kind of getting much later in the day now.
Sure. Is there an inn near here?
There are various inns and taverns that you could visit for a while.
Since we now have a newly found wealth, I'm sure we can afford a night stay.
Yeah, you can easily find a place to stay for the absurd amount of gold that you have.
Okay. Is it worth a couple of us trying to go into the city to see if there's any other possible solutions?
I'll say that you go into you can go into the city and kind of have an ask around, but you're although you feel like you might have some chance securing solutions to some of the things, you're not able to arrange work for all of the refugees, and you're not able to find housing for all of the refugees, so you end up coming back empty-handed.
Okay. Then it looks like our only solution at this point is to bribe our way in.
Aye.
All right. So everyone settles down for the night at some expensive inns and taverns. You each get your own room with a double bed, and
I give myself a top.
Wine. I'd need some venison. A good red wine and some venison. I'd be happy.
Give me a poached quail.
I want an ostrich egg. No!
More truffles. More truffles.
You are all now broke.
I look for a cot or a hammock or a crate with a cloth over it to sleep on.
Yeah, Nimbus is taking all of the blankets from his room and turning it into a nest to sleep in.
a giant bird's nest.
Yeah.
Do a long rest since I'm the only one that's taking damage.
Yeah, to do a long rest, if you go to actors directory to the top right, it should be the third icon along. In there, there's a player characters folder. If you should be able to find your character in there. And then the long rest button is just under the hit dice, up near the top next to your hit points and everything. There's just an L.rest button. If you click on that and just hit the rest button, it'll automatically restore everything for you.
Hey, it's a new day.
You wake up to knives through your throat.
It's a new day, so you get up in the morning and you have some breakfast and you return to the caravan, and the refugees are beginning to rise. And have we lost a player?
I did hear something disappear earlier.
Yeah, it looks like we've lost Joe.
Okay.
I don't see any messages regarding that.
Well, I think I will buy a bunch of just bread and pastries to take back to him. Not for 30 people, right?
That is thoughtful. I will contribute as well.
Yeah, I will buy them rice.
All right, so you're buying them some food.
Yeah, just for food for the day. So some bread and just basic staple stuff.
All right, so you buy them some basic food, and you're distributing this food. And while you're doing this, actually, a couple of the guards, one of them you recognize from the gate, they approach, and you didn't think you were kind of due to see Flame Falburn for maybe another hour or so, but they kind of come up, and one of them says, "Excuse me, I've been sent to summon you to go and see Flame Falburn. something's come up, and she'd like to see you immediately. If you could make sure you also bring that list of all the refugees that she asked for.
Fine. Leave us be while we tend to these refugees, since nobody else will.
All right. What? So you're telling them to leave?
No, we will be there as soon as possible.
All right.
Finish giving food to these refugees.
Well, please make haste. Flame Falburn is a busy woman.
And we're not. Thanks.
Did you
he
bring
heads off.
food for the refugees?
He doesn't hear you say that as he's walking away.
Hey, he was talking to you.
You knew you were coming here to see them.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm just so you finish feeding these refugees, and you head back to the Basilisk Gate, and you go up to see Flame Falburn, and she says, "Thank you for coming to see me again. I realized that I turned you away yesterday, but you seem to be a capable group of individuals, and we've actually heard about what happened yesterday in that encounter with the cultists in the street, and something's happened. We're wondering if you might be able to help us with something."
So now it's okay for us to do.
Now that we've shown that we're useful.
She says, "Quite. It is that way sometimes in Baldur's Gate."
You need to make it worth our while, then we will consider this.
Well, of course we will. I will certainly reconsider letting in yourselves and all of these refugees. But
reconsider? It's a very soft word.
well, let me tell you what's happened, and then perhaps we can come to an agreement.
Perfect.
Says, have you got that? Have you got that list of refugees?
Yes, we have the list of names.
She kind of she looks over this list of names. She says, Segrin Hall. This is the name I was looking for. I would like to speak to Segrin Hall immediately, if possible. And
He is in a coma.
in a coma. What happened?
His barn was burning down. We pulled him from the building and got his horses out, but it was too late.
Oh, I see.
What does this pertain to for him? Has he done something wrong, or what of interest is he?
So I've received word that we found a letter that was addressed to Segrin Hall, and the letter was found on a murder victim. This murder occurred sometime in the night. It's a very strange coincidence that Segrin is traveling with your party. I suspected that it could be one of you. We've already spoken to some other refugees who were trying to come in here, but yours was the largest group. We were thinking, seeing as you were able to deal with that situation that occurred yesterday, that you may wish to investigate this murder for us. Would you be willing to look into it?
Yes, I think we can do that. What do you think? What does
We have solved one.
I think we can do this, but we do need to secure passage for these refugees, as long as they at least can pass through without criminal records or disease, and have your clerics look at them.
She says, that is, if you're willing to do this work for us, then yes, I will agree to let them in. That seems, of course, very
They
reasonable.
are a bunch of traveling merchants and workers. They have enough gold to start their own work. They're not going to be a burden on the city.
I appreciate that. We will certainly keep an eye on them.
Okay. Let's go check out this murder, I guess.
She says, "Here, you should read this letter before you go. This was the letter that we took from the victim." She hands you this letter, which I appear also not to have included. Sorry, bear with me.
No, you included it. It's just not where you put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, bear with me. Like I said, pretty underprepared for this one. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, so how do you take a long rest?
On your character sheet, you'll see long rest listed on there. At the... I'm just opening it up again. And you see under hit dice, up at the top.
Oh,
hit
no.
points, hit dice, there's S rest and L rest. On your sheet, not in D&D Beyond, but in Foundry.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not seeing it. I see the chat. I see the little fist. Party.
Click on the third one, the little people icon, you have to then click on player characters. And then double click on your name, it'll open up your character sheet.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
Then you'll see it under hit dice and you just click the button.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
And this is the letter as well. Segrin, I hope this letter finds you well. It has been long since our grandfathers served together in Elturel, and seemingly just as long since we last visited. I know you may find it cowardly that I would contact you after my father's decision to abandon Elturel and even our name, but he has been gone some 24 years now, and I feel that a return home is inevitable. I write to you to inquire about grandfather's old farm. Does it yet remain untended and in the family? Is there an opportunity for us to return and raise sheep there? Truth is that we no longer feel safe here. Baldur's Gate is a great city, and we always knew that it was a violent one. Yet lately, tragedy has struck twice close to home, and I feel at times scared to even walk home from the workshop. I know that you owe us no kindness, but still, taken pity on your old kin and write back whether a return home would be possible.
So something he must have been involved in got him in trouble. Where was he murdered?
In the lower city. We will send you with an escort to meet a member of the Watch who is looking over the crime scene at the moment.
Okay, is it in this workshop he speaks of?
No, it is just on the street.
Okay. We might want to check out both places. Let's see the actual crime scene first.
I give you authority to go wherever the trail leads. And she nods to a guard that's kind of standing just outside the door. And he says, "Follow me, please." And you follow him through the lower city and across through these streets and into this. Sorry, you head down the stairs and then go in through the gate, and then follow through these streets in the direction of this crime scene.
I did want to ask her before we took off to see if she could send a couple guards to watch over the caravan.
Yeah, she can. She says she can spare a couple of guards.
In light of this new threat.
She sends a couple of guards to look over the caravan
Okay.
until you've kind of done with your investigation. And so, yeah, you head into the lower city. It's got very narrow cobblestone streets, and it's very, very busy, just as the outer city is. And it's pretty early in the morning. It's foggy. Although by the time you get to the crime scene, the sun's out. It's shining pretty brightly. And the cobblestones of the lower city are quite moist and slippery. It's kind of easy to trip here. And you walk through these morning crowds, and you see that there's kind of people like avoiding this scene, and you approach this this male dwarf who's kind of like, you know, sort of asking people, you know, like, well, oh, please, not this way, please, please go around this way, and trying to like stop people from kind of walking into this crime scene where you see that it looks like a body is covered by a tarp in the middle of the street, and this dwarf is like, he's got a long black beard, balding head with a long black braid at the back, and he's wearing leather armor and a black cape, and he turns to you as you're approaching and sees the guard, and he says, I see the flame has sent you. I'm glad that you're here. It's been very difficult for me to keep all of these people away from the crime scene.
Let's see what happened. Show us the body.
He says, right, just this way. He reaches down and he kind of like lifts up the corner of this tarp. And you can see this human man lying there. And he kind of puts the tarp back down and says, well, I'll give you leave of the crime scene. Just please make it as quick as possible.
Was there any other evidence found around here besides this body?
Well, you'll know when you take a look at the body that there's some strange writing written in blood on the ground around the body. But the body was actually discovered last night by passers-by around 3 bells. I don't know. I believe this man is Marcus from the letter, and we haven't found any other evidence. I haven't really. It's not really my place to investigate. So we've been waiting for you.
Okay, be gone. Is anybody that's proficient in looking at corpses?
I mean, that's what I used to do. I'll go and look and see, try to determine cause of death.
All right, so so you're gonna like lift the tarp off the body, I take it?
Yes.
All right, so you lift the tarp off the body and you kind of give me a medicine check.
Ooh.
It's clear just as soon as you pull the tarp off that Marcus was stabbed to death by a slender, pointed instrument of some kind. So you've rolled with like a private roll. So just like,
oh damn it!
You see that drop down menu there, just under.
Yeah. I see it. My bad. That's a 22.
That's a 20. That's
So-
all right. We can go with a 20.
All right.
You think you can tell by examining this corpse that the murder probably took place a couple of hours before midnight. And you don't see a murder weapon anywhere on the scene. But you kind of like turn the body over slightly, and you can see an exit wound on Mark's back, suggesting that the weapon was long enough to pass all the way through the body.
Okay. So kind of looking like a rapier or something like that. So yeah, I'll relay that to the party.
These symbols look
an arrow.
to anybody? Are these similar to what we saw on the other bodies?
So the writing that's written around the body in a circle looks like it may actually be script of some kind rather than runes. You can kind of make that out of it, you think. Can anyone speak? What languages can everyone speak? Let me see.
Celestial, common, and primordial.
Common, draconic, and giant.
Common, draconic, orc.
Yeah, none of you none of you are able to make out what this says.
Does
You can
anybody
tell-
cast spells besides me?
Yes.
Does anybody have comprehend languages?
I am not that kind of cleric.
I have actually just changed what I've learned to this last little bit.
Well, as you're kind of like trying to work out what to do about this script, you actually see a tiefling walk by, dressed in very like expensive looking fancy clothes and a very nice looking hat. Kind of like looks over. You just witness him look over, and he kind of looks at this scene for a moment and sort of stops and rubs his chin and goes, huh. And then kind of like shrugs and then turns back and keeps walking.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You seem to recognize what that says. Would you
Well,
mind interpreting for us?
Yes, it is. It's written in Infernal. It says, well, I can just make out the word fallen. Hold on. He kind of like steps closer. He's like, it says, for the fallen.
Do you regularly consort with devils?
I'm sorry.
He is tiefling, but
Oh, that was insensitive. I didn't know. So were you bored knowing? Anyways.
Yes, my family ensured that I knew how to speak Infernal. But anyway, I must be going. I'm late for work.
Are you part of a cult?
Am I part of a cult, sir? No, I am not. And I
Give
don't
it up.
appreciate assuming that I would be just based on the color of my red skin.
It really wasn't based on that. It was based on you reading a passage in Infernal, but
excuse my
Right.
friends, sir,
Good point.
and be on your way. We appreciate your help.
He says, just so you know, that last symbol there, that's not writing. I don't know what that is. He says, well, anyway, good luck to you. Heads off.
What's that last symbol look like?
You have a look at this symbol, but it looks like, unfortunately, it's been smudged, likely by the act of draping the canvas over the body in the first place, and you're not able to identify it.
Okay. For the fallen is our clue.
I'll say actually that if you have a, maybe give me, if anyone wants to take a look at this symbol, maybe give me like an intelligence check.
Is anybody looking at it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah, anyone can give me an intelligence check. That'll do.
Ooh.
So, Icky, you recognize this. You feel like, you're like, oh, this actually reminds me of that symbol that I think Zanasi still has that was taken off that cultist that you chased through the crowds. And you kind of like pull out that necklace and you kind of compare it to the symbol and you think it may be the same symbol. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like it could be.
Yeah.
It looks
I relay
close
that. I'm saying like, well, so it looks like we need to have a conversation with the surgeon. To start off with Marcus, just to let him know, maybe see what he has to do with a cult, or if what his buddy would have had to do with a cult, because it seems like they're connected. There's plenty of evidence that they're connected.
Well, he's in a coma.
Oh,
He's married though, so we can ask his wife.
right.
Yeah, Vilnar, the dwarf guard, says he overhears you. He says, I do have the home address for Marcus. You can speak to his wife
do
there.
that. And what about his workshop? Or did he live at his workshop?
Unfortunately, I don't know where that was.
Well, let's go see his home. That's our next stop.
All right, so
Let's go to his house. You guys good with that?
I'm alright with that.
Let's do it.
all right, so he gives you directions to his house, and you walk through the city a little bit, and you come to this fairly modest two-story cottage on the corner of a street. Just a little brick building, and it looks like you can see from the outside that the curtains are all drawn shut, even though it's daytime.
Very peculiar. Let's investigate inside the house. Be on your guard. Who wants to lead us forward? It shouldn't be me.
I take out my shield and put it on, and take out my sword and hold it up, and kind of tuck my sword into my shield a little, so I'm not just holding the sword forward, but I'm ready, and start marching.
Yeah, lead the way.
So you march up to this wooden door.
I'll do my produce flame cantrip, and my head's on fire, and we have light.
All right, so it's pretty light. It's still like, you know, it's morning and it's daylight out.
Alright,
So you're all standing like at this front door, and you've prepared this flame, and Vamshu, you've like put on all of your armor and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Is the guard escorting us? Like, does he have a key, or just the address?
No, there's no guard with you. The dwarf just gave you directions to the shop. Sorry, to the house.
All right, I'll kick down the door.
You gonna kick down the door?
Or let's maybe try to open it first.
Well, I attempt to open the door.
With my foot.
So you attempt to open the door, and you find that it's locked.
Is anybody?
I kick down the door.
Okay.
I can just open it with these tools, but okay.
All right, so you go to kick down the door. Give me a strength check.
Too late. He's kicking
Not
down.
one.
Vamshu, give me a strength check.
Yeah, sorry, I was pressing the modifier. I was used to like the D&D Beyond sheet.
All right. So you just walk up to this door and you just like give it a big old kick, like right next to the handle, and it just like breaks the lock, and it doesn't like fall off the hinges, but it just like smashes the door like open. It just bursts open, and you just hear this like ah from inside as this lady that's standing in there, this like half-elf woman. She's wearing this like blue dressing gown, and she's got graying hair in a sort of a bit of a messy bun, and she's standing up from a chair just like screaming as you've like kicked this door open.
I put my weapons away, look at her sternly and intimidatingly, and I say, if you care enough for the world that it should not fall to the influence of devils, you will not hinder this investigation.
She just like starts crying and like saying like, please don't hurt me. Who are you? Don't hurt me. She's like
No
backing
one is
up.
hurting
She's
you.
like
Leave
reaching
here for
out
the
to like
good of justice.
What? I don't know what this is. Who are you? She's like, she sees all of you like coming through this door. She's like trying to like reach for like some sort of object to like protect herself with. She's like backing away to the fire.
Just
like,
walk away.
what do you want? Why are you here? What are you doing?
We are investigating this man for association with the Cult of Zariel. This is important stuff. Now get out of here.
She stops for a second. She's like, do you mean my husband, Marcus?
Oh, you have questions to answer. Stay where you are.
Questions? Who are you? Why are you here? You don't look like the watch.
Excuse me, ma'am.
The Nazi.
And I'll kind of walk up close to her. I'm sorry to inform you, your husband has been murdered. And we are here to see what happened and figure it out.
She says, she kind of turns to you and sees you as like a voice of reason for a moment. This moment of like terror. She calms down a little bit. She says, I know my husband is dead. I was already informed.
You need to try to see if you can help us answer some questions that might answer what he was involved in or why he would have been murdered.
I already told everything I know to the guards.
What was that you told them?
I don't know. All I know is that he some of Marcus's friends died under mysterious circumstances, and he was afraid. He wanted to leave. Actually, he wanted to move to Eltergard, but I feel ashamed to admit it, but I didn't want to leave. I thought he was just being paranoid. I didn't know this would happen.
Does he have a place he keeps paperwork or other things that might give us a clue into what happened to him?
I don't know about paperwork or anything like that. He's just most of those things would probably be at the office, but he's just a humble dressmaker. Oh, sorry, he's not a dressmaker. He's a leather goods seller.
Leather goods seller. So you have no other information that would help us in your husband's death? Nothing you can think of?
The only thing I could think of is that strange old box that he has. But other than that, I don't know why I think of that now. It always seems strange to me.
You'd better grab that box before we have to.
She's kind of like she looks at you and again like kind of begins to sort of like tense up. Like, of course, I'll go get it for you. It's because of his ancestors. You see, they come from Eltergard, but I don't know much about it. But it just I don't know. She goes and goes into this other room and comes back with this this old wooden box. She tells you it's a family heirloom, and it has a strange writing on it.
It's similar to the other writing we saw by his body.
Yeah, it looks similar. You would be able to recognize now that this is probably some kind of infernal.
Okay.
Can I check it for traps?
Yeah, give me. How do you go about checking it for traps?
I mean, just kind of looking, making sure that there's no like wires, like kind of in between the lid and the top, or anything that looks suspicious, out of place.
Okay, give me an investigation check. You don't find anything that looks suspicious, but you do notice the frame of this box is emblazoned with the emblem of a horse's head on a sunset.
Would I recognize that?
You can give me a history check. Yeah, you recognize this as the heraldry of the Hell Riders, who are a famous group of horseback warriors from Eltergard.
Miss, sorry to ask, where do you get the box?
It's a family heirloom. It's been passed down to him. I don't know why I thought of it now. It's just I always thought the box was strange, and after these recent murders and now his death, I don't know. I just thought it might be relevant.
Did he ever speak of these ancestors? And the Hell Riders or anything like?
I don't know if I don't remember.
Maybe he's not asking plainly enough. How long was your husband involved with the Cult of Zariel?
He looks shocked. It's like, a cult? I know nothing of a cult. And she kind of like backs up again, and you notice at this point, she kind of like reaches out with a hand and kind of like, there's like this dress draped over the back of this chair. And she almost like kind of moves her hand like protectively in the way of this dress. It's like it looks like a very fancy dress, like more expensive looking than you would imagine she would be able to afford.
All right, I'm gonna cast Command, and I'm just gonna say sit.
Sit. Right, she instantly sits on the chair.
I grab the dress and begin inspecting it while she's sitting down for a round.
Alright, so Command. I'll just cast Command for you just to use up your spell slot on your sheet, if that's okay. Okay, you pull this dress from behind her. She's very shocked to see you do this. She says, that's my dress! And you have a look at this dress. It's it's this very beautifully made dress with frills and sequins and other dress-like things. And she kind of like shakes her head, and there's like tears welling up in her eyes. She says, Harwin always says I should go dancing more, so he made me this beautiful dress, and I just can't bring myself to wear it now.
There's no infernal on it?
You don't see any infernal on it.
I put it down where I got it from.
This dress seems above your station. How would you be able to afford such a thing?
Remember before when I said my husband was a dressmaker? That must have been a Freudian slip, if you know of the psychologist Freud. I have to admit, the dress was made to me by a family friend of ours, Harwin. He's a very skilled dressmaker.
Cultists wear robes. He makes them interesting.
This is really more of a dress, I would say. I don't know anything about cultists, but Harwin is he's harmless.
Or pretends to be. Might be a person of interest. What would you guys like to do? I want to find more information about this box before we just open it.
I would like her to be honest about his involvement with the cult, but that seems off the table.
I checked the box. I already checked the box for traps. I'll open it up. I'll open it up, and I'm gonna open up the box.
Okay, so you open up this box and you find in there a pair of like glasses with lenses made of dark red crystal, and these are let me just see. What these look like. I think they're glasses. They're like, yeah, crystal lenses. Yeah. And that's the only thing in the box.
Only thing in the box. I'll Anybody able to check this out? Anybody knows if this is magic or not? Do you know anything about this, miss?
I can look at it.
Bolnata says, well, her name is Bolnata. She says, I should probably introduce myself as Bolnata. I've never looked in the box. There was something about it that unnerved me, and I didn't want to go near it. You can keep it if you wish. It means nothing to me now.
I'm gonna examine the glasses.
All right, give
See
me
if I understand its art nature.
give me an Arcana check. You
Mitt.
yeah, you're not exactly sure from looking at these what they do. You think
If I look through them, does anything happen?
yeah, so when you look through the glasses, you feel like what you can see through them is like especially clear. You kind of like look around the room with them. You kind of go to the window perhaps and sort of open the curtains and look out. You feel like you can just see everything really clearly and perhaps see quite far off into the distance as well.
And when I look through them at the box, is anything unusual?
It doesn't reveal anything about the box.
It seems that these glasses at least allow you to see clear. As far as anything else I can tell, I don't know.
Perhaps someone should wear them for an extended period, see if they notice anything different.
I can put them on, I guess, since I've already looked through them.
You
Sure.
put them on, you don't see anything that stands out in the room in particular, but you look very fashionable.
Okay, I'm looking fashionable.
Even more fashionable than Nimbus, somehow.
This is bullshit. Give me those glasses.
No! I want you to be jealous. That was the whole reason me putting them on.
How fucking dare you?
Your bow tie looks silly now, boy.
Bolnar
No one
says,
even asked me if I wanted glasses.
Bolnar
You want
says,
glasses?
please, if you're looking into this further, you may also speak to Marcus's friend Dovus. Marcus was very close with him, and he might know more about what happened to Marcus. Marcus, as I said, was talking a great deal about some of his friends, some people that he knew who died under mysterious circumstances. It was just too terrible for me to listen to what he was saying about it. I just, like I said, I didn't want to leave Boulder's Gate, but you might try speaking to Dovus.
You leave, I'm gonna give her 5 gold pieces and say, "This is for the lock. I'm sorry about that."
She could buy a night store now.
She bows her head and thank you, I guess.
I'm gonna give you a pass on this one, but I swear to Groomsh, if I find out that you get involved with the Cult of Zariel again, it's not going to end well for you.
I don't know what you mean by the word again, but I swear all I was doing is just dancing with friends last night at the local tavern. We don't know anything about cults.
In the pale moonlight,
No, at the tavern. Well, the moonlight may have been pale. I don't know. I was inside and I had a few drinks.
very well.
Harwin was there, of course.
I thought the inn was named the Pale Moonlight.
When did he step out for anything, or what? When did you find out that your husband had passed? If you went to the bar with him that day?
Oh, that's funny. He actually did leave for some time last night, but I don't know. I don't know where he went. Like I said, I'd had a few drinks, and it wasn't really clear what time it was.
What was the name of this tavern? Is he a regular there?
Harwin, yes, it is the Pale Moon Tavern. How did you know? But he took me there. He wanted to see me dance, and I brought 2 of my friends with me. But yeah, he left us there for some time. It was actually quite a while now that you mention it.
Okay. Let's go talk to his friend, I guess. And then we can go to the tavern if you guys like as well.
That sounds good to me.
Let's go do it.
Very well.
All right, so you want to speak to Dovis, the watchman, or you want to go to the tavern?
Dovis, I think, would be easier to start off with.
All right, so she tells you where Dovis works. He's always at his post, pretty much always during the day, near the Heath Gate, which is just a little way up the hill, kind of leading into the upper city. And so you head over there, and you've been given a description of this man, and you see him as you're kind of like approaching the gate. You think it's him. He's in his late 50s, kind of spry. He's got short grey hair, and he's wearing like full plate and a helm with red feathers, and he's holding a halberd, and he's has a very worried expression on his face. You think he's kind of like talking to himself as you approach.
That's our guy.
Would you like to question him?
Yeah, you want to do the whole good guard, bad guard thing again?
Sure, you start off.
We're gonna take it light, though. I don't want to actually piss off a guard.
Alright.
His name's Dovin?
Dovis.
Oh, Dovis. Okay. Hail, Dovis.
He kind of looks up, seems slightly surprised. Says, hello. Can I help you?
Yes, we are investigators sent here on behalf of local authorities. We have some things to discuss surrounding the death of your friend yesterday.
Oh, I'm glad you're here, actually. I was actually... I've been thinking about it ever since I heard the news of Marcus's death. I was about to ask if I could take the rest of the day off. I actually... I feel really terrible about what's happened. I thought maybe I should try to look into the matter myself. What do you, do you have any leads?
Dovis, for both of our sakes, I'm just gonna let you know. I'm going to ask you just a few questions, and my patience will begin declining rapidly. And with whatever little lie that was there, whatever you were trying to cover for and get the day off, I don't appreciate that, Dovis. You're gonna have to work with me here.
Give me an intimidation check. He frowns, and you can see he's like a proud man of few words. You get this impression from looking at him, but he kind of like flinches a little bit. He kind of takes like half a step back, and you can see that I think he might be a little bit intimidated.
When was the last time you were at the Pale Moon Tavern?
The Pale Moon, I don't drink myself, to be honest. I rarely go by there.
That's strike one, Dovis. I'm gonna let you talk to my associate while I cool off.
Oh, he looks like he wants to answer questions now.
Of course.
No, so if you never drink and do that, you need to tell us more about your friends that have also been what appears to be possibly murdered, along with your other friend last night.
Yes, Marcus's friends. I didn't know them personally, but Marcus spoke of it frequently. He was very concerned. They seemed too unrelated. I kind of just I told him that I didn't think he had anything to worry about. The first man, Nugget, was killed 6 months ago, attacked by some sort of large animal in the night, very bloody. Not particularly suspicious, though. The animal, though, was never found. The second victim was an old woman named Myrna, killed only about a month ago, cut up and her blood smeared over a nearby wall. So much blood you could see the smears even after a long, hard rain. Kind of shakes his head. Someone must have truly hated her. But, neither of those victims had any local relatives in there. Their investigations were ultimately closed. And, yeah.
Do you know if there was any symbols left behind?
I don't know of any symbols, no.
Any other information you could possibly give us before our friend gets any more frustrated with you? You said you were going to attempt to investigate this self. You must have some information.
Well, I was thinking of, to be honest, going and speaking to the dressmaker. There's a dressmaker who actually lives nearby to Marcus. His name is Harwin, and if you ask me, I suspect that he has a bit of a thing for Marcus's wife Bolnata, and I don't know, something about that. I thought it might be worth speaking to him.
Yeah. He's the same one that made that beautiful dress for her that's above this station.
Yes, I heard about that dress. It bothered Marcus a little bit.
Can
Go ahead.
Sorry, can I tell if he's being truthful?
Yeah, give me an insight check. Yeah, he seems like a pretty straightforward man to you. You don't see any indication that he'd be lying.
Okay. I kind of whisper that to Yamash. Or sorry.
Yeah.
Yamshu, yeah.
It sounds like a good place to start.
All right, Dovis, I'm calm enough to ask you a second question.
Yes, go ahead. Of course I will answer any questions you have.
Let's say you had the day off today. Where would you go? What would you tend to?
As I was saying, I was thinking about, well, maybe speaking to Bolnata, going and taking a look at the actual crime scene, questioning some of the guards, and also perhaps speaking to this dressmaker, Harwin.
Is he speaking the truth to the best of my knowledge?
Give me an insight check. You don't, yeah, there's nothing about what he's saying that would suggest he's lying.
And I got one more question.
Of
When you're
course.
done,
Oh, yeah, you go ahead.
did he ever speak of his family history? From the town he was from and his ancestors?
I knew he was from Elturel. That's all I knew. Yeah, I can't say he spoke about it much.
He never spoke about his history. Okay. Thank you, sir. You have been much help today.
My pleasure. Perhaps I could even accompany you if you're going to continue investigating this crime. I feel a duty to look into this matter personally, given that Marcus was my friend.
Honorable.
Are you ready to die for him?
Die for him. As a...
Will you put your life on the line for the good cause?
His eyes widen as this like bird is like squawking at him. As a member of the Watch, I take my duties very seriously, if that is what you mean.
Good enough.
You may accompany us, good sir.
It's,
Let's go
Stop
to
scaring you now. You just never know.
thank you. No, I appreciate a good hard questioning. As a guard myself, I've employed the similar tactics in the past.
Aha, and I grin.
I will ask you while you travel with us to kind of stay in the background and observe.
All right, so he asks if he can take the rest of the day off, and he gets permission, and he goes with you and kind of stays in the back of the group as you move through the crowd.
Let's go see Harwin, the dressmaker.
All right, so you make your way towards Harwin's shop, and Dovis is able to kind of guide you there, and you approach this little building. There's a sign in the front that says Harwin's Garments and Knits, and it's located like only a few streets away from where Marcus's home was. And it's a little two-story building with like a little an open front door and some large windows, and you can see all these dresses kind of set up in the windows.
I'm gonna walk around and look for a back entrance or a window large enough for a person to get out of.
So all of the buildings here are just like very tightly packed, and it's not easy for you to get around the back of the building.
Okay.
You could like try to sort of like walk like around, like around the block if you wanted to.
No, I was thinking of it as a detached building. I just wanted to have eyes on any escape routes, but it doesn't sound like I could do that, so I would just walk with them into it.
Yeah, no immediately apparent escape routes from the building, exactly.
Can I close the door, Yamashiro, so you can kick it in?
That will not be necessary. I'll save the kicking for if he requires it.
All right, then let's wander on in.
All right, so you all head into this shop. It's decorated with several mannequins and roughly split into two halves, one featuring finely sewn garments such as dresses and vests, and the other displaying knitted wool items such as sweaters and hats. The owner clearly wanted to diversify his offerings, and it's a very neat, well-kept shop. And you walk in, and across from you is this large wooden counter, and you see there an individual, a male gnome, who kind of grins and says, welcome. Please feel free to have a look around.
I just hang back casually, start polishing my hammers with a small garment.
Like one of the garments from the shop?
Oh yeah, just something small, like a hat or a sock or, whatever I can find.
He immediately like rushes over and says, oh sir, please, those wares are to be sold.
If I were you.
You seem confused, Harwin. You're not going to be the one running the show here today.
He like backs up. He's like, Harwin, I'm not Harwin. My name's Zook. Zook Hillwicken.
What?
I'm Harwin's apprentice.
Bring me the dressmaker.
Inside check.
Yeah, you can give me an inside check. But you try to discern if he's lying about who he is. You can't tell. He seems like he's being pretty truthful from that.
Look it is then.
You just think gnomes all look the same and you're confused. I'll ask him where Harwin is at.
Harwin, actually, he's not here at the moment. What can I help you with something?
Where is Harwin?
Who's asking? Actually, at this point, maybe Dovis kind of steps forward. We're looking into the murder of someone who Harwin knew, Marcus. You should answer the questions of these individuals. And Zook kind of immediately, I see. Harwin, well, yes, actually, I came in this morning and I found a note saying that he was leaving. He was going to go and check on the shearing operations outside of town, which is very strange because we actually already have all the wool that we need, and also Harwin very much hates the sheep and never wants to go there, so I did think that was strange. But Harwin lives upstairs, and so he comes and goes as he pleases. But
you must turn over this note immediately for handwriting analysis.
Oh, sure. He kind of like goes back to the counter and sort of goes behind there and rummages around and pulls it out and hands it to you. And it is just a very short note that just says like, you know, leaving to check on shearing operations. Be back soon.
Yeah. Show us of his residence, please.
He kind of looks a bit uncomfortable and says, I don't think Harwin would like that. I
was only being nice by asking. Show us his residence.
Give me an intimidation check with advantage. This whole room of armored people.
Nice.
He goes pale. He's like, I've studied all my life to become a dressmaker, and this is the first apprenticeship I was able to get after years of trying, and I don't want to disobey Harwin. If I got into trouble and lost this job, I don't know what would happen to me. I'm sorry. Kind of like backs, he's sort of like crouching down almost behind the counter, is just sort of like leaning over, threatening him.
Then I'm gonna tell him that if you don't show us, you'll just end up in prison in Waterdeep. We have been given the authority to arrest anyone we see fit.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Do a persuasion or deception? I lied to.
Oh yeah, give me a deception check.
Because we really haven't been given that.
No.
What the hell?
Oh man!
What is wrong with your dice?
Well, that would have been nice.
Never mind. Just murder him. We'll find it.
Murder him.
No. Look, return to your home. Close down the shop for the day. We will contact you in the morning.
Okay. I guess so. He kind of like looks at like Dovis, who is sort of nods. He says, "Oh, okay. I guess so. But I have to lock up. I can't leave the shop to just anyone can come in here after you leave."
Sure, we're going to escort you out right now. You will lock up the shop and return home.
He looks very confused, and he says, "You're going to try to break into to Harwin's apartment."
Look, I can leave first. At the end of the day here, you're closing down the shop and going home, or you're gonna come with me to the stockades right now. I am doing everything in my power to defer this to a tribunal in the morning, and you're just not helping yourself here.
Okay, give me one more intimidation check with advantage.
Hey, let's do another 1 and 2.
Oh, I didn't do advantage.
That's fine. 14 is...
Yay!
Nice. Nice.
God. I want advantage on 4 rolls. I got no higher than a 2.
For some reason, he just, I guess he just sees Zanasi, something about him. He just sees him as like a kind potential friend. He's just not intimidated by it. But Vamshu, he's extremely concerned, and he says, "All right, fine. Here," he like pulls out a keychain and he says, "It's this way. Here, I'll let you in, all right? But please just don't touch anything. I don't want him to know." And he like leads you up the stairs and like unlocks this door and pushes the door open and allows you to enter this apartment. And let me see. It's Yeah, it's a neat and humble apartment on the top floor, and the bedroom is sparsely decorated with several tasteful drawings and trinkets. There's a small desk that appears to contain designs for various different types of garments, and there's a small kitchen. It's also very neat and tidy. But you do notice one thing that's out of sorts in the apartment, which is a wash basin, which appears to have blood in it. Appears to be red in color.
A nice coincidence.
Zook kind of sees this, says,
Oh dear, what's this about?
Well, someone was murdered last night, as you know. And this seems to be evidence.
Oh dear, it certainly is very strange.
You did the right thing today.
Do you know where Harwin was last night?
Oh no, everything was normal when I locked up the shop. He said goodnight to me, and that was the last I saw of him until I got that note when I came in.
Well, it seems like you're employed by a murderer. I would suggest you go home until notified further.
Oh, like I said, I need to. I don't know if this is necessarily. I mean, a bloody wash basin could be anything. I mean, he might have bumped his head on something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It sounds like you're making excuses for him and trying to cover up. Are you an accomplice?
what were you trying to say, Iki?
I'm just gonna roll the ring, see if I can find out something that would be like a murder weapon. Matches this description.
Give me an investigation check.
Anything that struck him through?
But otherwise, he says,
Oh, excuses? No, I'm just saying. I don't think I should leave. I need to lock up the shop.
that's all. He's like shaking at this point. You feel like he's about to have a panic attack. He's like breathing really quickly and heavily. Yeah,
Why don't
give me
you
an
go
insight
sit
check.
down in the other room?
Okay.
He like goes back downstairs, yeah, Nimbus. You feel like this is genuine fear. No indication that he would be lying. And Iki, you have a look around and you find there's a cloth, a bloodied cloth, resting just like on a chair on the like across from the basin, it's an especially fine cloth, spotless except for the blood on it, and it looks like I don't know. Does anyone have any like sort of background, like a guild artisan background or anything like that?
No.
Not a background, but I know thieves can't.
Yeah, thieves camp probably wouldn't cut it. But yeah, you find a bloody cloth, a very fine bloody cloth.
I bet you don't know anything about this, do you, Zook? If that is your real name.
Zook kind of like hears you calling out from downstairs. He's like,
What?
I show up and show the clock.
so he kind of like comes part way up the stairs, and you sort of meet him there and show him this cloth, and he's like,
Oh, that's a polishing cloth for knitting needles. Harwin has a collection of beautiful, very large knitting needles. I imagine he probably would have taken those with him. He takes them most everywhere he goes. They're very precious to him.
Interesting, our murder was committed with a long, piercing, single-pointed instrument.
he looks visibly shocked. He says, that's like kind of scratching himself awkwardly.
That certainly does seem like maybe more than a coincidence. I don't know.
I'm glad you're finally starting to see.
Well, I mean, it's still early. Harwin, he's probably, if he's on his way to the to investigate the sheep operation. He's probably traveling with a regular merchant caravan. It actually leaves at this time only about half a bell or so ago. If you're quick, you might even be able to reach him before he gets out of the city.
You're going to take us there right now. Do you have a wagon? Some means of getting there faster with your shipments?
The wagon. I think Harwin took the wagon. I'm sorry, I don't have
well,
one.
You'd better start jogging in the correct direction then.
He's like, okay. You've already very much intimidated him, so he begins walking down the road, the stairs. He's like, hey, it's this way. It's this way.
Go, folks.
We are now chasing down this little gnome to the wagons. The merchant caravan.
Sorry, still recovering from a terrible sickness. All right, so you head after this gnome. He runs down the stairs and runs out the street. And he sorry, bear with me. Yeah, you follow him through the street, and you follow him back to the outer city, and he leads actually north towards what's called the Black Gate, which is the gate to the north of Boulder's Gate as opposed to the Basilisk Gate. And the streets are very busy with traffic going to and from the city, and the houses here are largely run down, and it's very bright now. It's kind of like, well into the morning. It's very noisy, and you follow him through this, pushing past these people in the street, and you see that he's kind of moving towards these caravans ahead. He says, "Oh, there, that looks like the merchant caravan," and he points to these wagons. They're moving like very slowly through this busy main thoroughfare. And actually, it looks like they may even be kind of like stuck in like a bottleneck, like a bit of a traffic jam.
You may return home.
Well, does he see Harwin before we send him off?
So you can see like two simple covered wagons, and you can see like one of them like has like there's like an arm like hanging out of the window in like a relaxed manner, but you can't really like get a close enough look to see who's inside. But there are also a number of guards. There's 4 guards escorting these wagons.
Okay. I say we keep bringing the gnome until he identifies which one Harwin is.
I don't think we should get the little guy wrapped up. I don't think we'll have any trouble identifying him. We know it's the wagon. We know he's in there.
You don't want to throw him in first? Seems like a tactic you would like.
No. He is not a fighter.
Oh, certainly not.
He has been straightforward with us. He is clearly afraid.
Let him go, then.
Oh, thank you, kind sirs.
He like scurries away.
Let's approach that wagon.
All right, so you approach the wagon, and yeah, it's just well, there's 2 wagons, and then there's like a couple of 4 guards kind of surrounding them. How do you approach them?
I guess shout, Harwin, exit your wagon. You are wanted for murder and must speak to your crimes.
But as you say this, like all of the guards like look towards you, and some of them are like they're barely even moving. They're just kind of like shuffling along, like waiting for this traffic jam to resolve itself. And out of the window of the front wagon, this arm that you saw is withdrawn, and a head pokes out, with it's got like curly grey hair. It's a man who looks to be in his early 50s. He's says, I am Harwin. What can I do for you?
You are known to have killed Marcus last night and suspected to have killed many others. Exit the wagon now, relieve yourself of any weapons, and be prepared to speak to your crimes.
He kind of like withdraws his head again, and you hear like a tapping of a cane, like a loud like tapping, and the driver on top of the wagon at the front kind of like pulls in the reins. The horses are like practically not moving anyway, and the carts like come to a full stop, and the guards kind of like sort of stand there like looking a little bit uncomfortable. They're kind of glancing at each other like a bit awkwardly, but they sort of wait as like the door opens and this man steps out. He's a tall thin man. He's like fashionably dressed in an embroidered white tunic, and he kind of takes a step forward and says, "You say I'm wanted for murder."
I didn't come here to play games with you, Harwin. You heard what I said. And this old doddering old fool act, I can see right through it. My eyes tense up when I look at him real mean.
He says, why would I get into trouble for the murder? It was just a normal thing to do. Of course, I had to do the murder.
What?
Are you talking about Marcus, who I murdered?
Yes, you Yes, what?
He says, and like, he's kind of like stammering and kind of like looks a little bit confused. And all of a sudden, like, his like eyes go like milky, and he kind of like stands up straight. He's like holding like a cane, and he like drops the cane, and he stands like very straight all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, like he talks in like a very different voice, and it says, "Welcome to Baldur's Gate. Thank you for bringing them to me. You can have him now." And all of a sudden, he kind of like this sort of state like leaves him, and his eyes go normal again, and he kind of like drops down and kind of bends over as he was before, and says, What's happening? I'm sorry. I was. He told me to kill him. He said it was just normal. If I wanted Bolnada, I had to kill him. Don't you understand?
Just walk up and
You're clearly possessed. Killing you isn't even going to be fun.
just walk up and smack him, backhand him in the face. Drop him.
You backhand him in the face?
Yeah.
So you just walk up and, well, okay, so I guess the guards are like standing around and they've heard this, and yeah, they're standing there like just shocked at Harwin just straight up just saying that he committed murder. And so they just stand there as you just backhand this guy. He just goes, he's like a pretty old guy. He just goes like flying just into the side of the wagon. He's like, oh! He's like, oh!
And I tell his guards to fetch the city watch.
They and actually Dover says, I will fetch them. Or perhaps we should bring Harwin back to Flame Daron Falburn.
That's a good idea.
You take him. I feel like we need to go check on our caravan. I feel something bad is gonna happen.
Well, I mean, as you're saying this, Harwin, he kind of like begins to cry. It almost like it seems like what he's done is like begins dawning on him, and he becomes like horribly remorseful, and he doesn't put up a fight or anything like that. And yeah, you so you just want to kind of give him up and go and check on the caravan?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We just let Dovis take him.
Yeah, we're giving him to Dovis. He can, I mean, he seems like he can handle the old man. But this being is obviously very interested in the caravan that we brought to the city, so I'm pretty sure we need to go check on the caravan.
All right, so you go and check on the caravan. They've kind of like gone into the city. I'm thinking. Let me see.
Already? Were we not?
Yeah,
supposed to
no, I mean, I guess not. Yeah, okay. So you go and you find the caravan, but everything looks fine. And I'll say, like, this is where it ends. So you go back, you find the caravan's fine and everything, and then you follow up. You go and speak to Flame Darren Falburn, and when you get there, she thanks you very much for solving the murder. She says, it's very strange. It seems even though it seems so certain that this man has even confessed to the murder, another man has been killed, and the same bloody symbol drawn on his remains. And it only just happened, so it couldn't have been this man. And she seems very confused, but she says they'll take Harwin away and kind of interrogate him and see what they can learn. And she thanks you all for looking into the murder and agrees to allow the refugees in, and she's going to pay you a bunch of gold as well. And that is the rather sudden ending to the adventure.
Okay. You made me really worried about the caravan. Worried about them.
Yeah, I kind of thought a devil was about to attack the caravan.
Oh, thank you for bringing them to me. Well, now I'm so hurry to get to the caravan.
Good point. Yes.
Wait, you're welcome, I guess?
Maybe the caravan are actually demons.
Oh.
I hadn't seen the connection of the thing that he says with like something happening like imminently to the caravan. So I was a bit like, wait, you going to the caravan?
It's just the way it's worded.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. But yeah, no, you solve the murder, but then it seems like there's more going on, and somebody else has been murdered, and yeah.
TBD.
Yes. But here's the rewards. You the magic item that you found was a this is the wrong one. This is the previous adventure. Sorry, bear with me. That magic item is Eyes of the Eagle. And I'll post it in chat. You also get 80 gold pieces in total. 80 gold pieces each.
Damn.
Includes the 20 we found earlier, right?
Including the 20, yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a way to sort of disperse the gold a little bit throughout the module, but I couldn't think of anyone else that would have 20 gold pieces each.
Who's just carrying around what, how many are there? 6 of us?
Yeah. I mean, even Darren Falburn awarding you each 80 gold pieces seems like pretty intense. But
yeah. I mean, there's many common people in the city of Boulder's Gate that will never see a gold in a year, barely.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of money. But
yeah.
Does anybody want that amulet, or can I have it?
The amulet's from last time.
Oh, sad.
Oh, so the amulet. What do you mean, the amulet that you found on the
against detection and location?
Oh yeah, sorry, that's from last time. Oh yeah, sorry, I just showed the old handout from the previous adventure. My apologies. I had, like I said, I was a bit underprepared for this one. I didn't put the rewards in. But you get 80 gold pieces and this Eyes of the Eagle, and I'll post it in the chat. All the details.
All right. Thank you. Do you want the amulet? I have one.
I would love the amulet.
All right, you can have mine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just remember now you owe me.